Hey, what's up guys? So dispatch just called me. They figure we lost a recloser out of one of our main substations here. It looks like there are 770 customers fed off this recloser. No idea what's going on yet. Super sunny day. It's probably maybe 4 or 5 degrees outside. First thing we're going to do here is go into the substation and check that the recloser is open and locked out, that it wasn't, it probably is. The system that predicts what's out is pretty accurate. Probably not a fuse open on the line. We're going to confirm that, and we're going to see if we can't document this process as we go with minimal editing. We'll try to show in real time how long it's going to take to restore power to these 800 customers and the process along the way. So we're just going in our switch gear here right now. We're at our substation. These guys are reclosers. Those are 3 reclosers, some backup switches. Let's see if there is an indicator on it. Air 003 is over on this side. So we've got it labeled here, 6518 Air 003, and the open flag is down. So that device is open. We're just gonna head in the building, make sure that it's locked out so it doesn't reclose while I'm out patrolling. If we do work on the lines hands-on at all, we'll have to open a backup device. We can't rely on that electronic open device. So I'm just going to light up this panel here. Control power, okay. Control lockout, A, B, C, fault. So all 3 phases fault, nothing on ground. So next we're going to go into our sequence of events. Enter fault data. Wowzers, 5,500 amps A, 5,200 B, and 4,000 amps C phase. That's a real high current fault. So chances are, when we're seeing numbers like 5,500 amps, that's at 7,200 volts. That's a phase-to-phase fault, 12,470. Just gonna lock this guy up. We don't ever leave these buildings unlocked when off-site, even if we're coming back. But a high current fault like that, it's probably close to the sub here. Hard to say what we're gonna find. The wind is blowing a bit, but man, this last 2 weeks we had some crazy windy days, and I had zero trouble calling from the wind. Could be a bird. Could be someone doing yard work, dropped a tree on the line. If it was a vehicle accident, I probably would have heard about it by now. We're gonna jump in the truck and look at the map and start patrolling here. A lot of times I'll get another truck en route right away. I'm not gonna jump the gun just yet. We'll browse around for a few minutes here. Just gotta bring up my map. 6518 R003. Here. Just want to confirm that 6518 R003 is open.
Before you say 6518 R003 is open.
Yeah, 10-4. I was showing over 5,000 amps fault in all 3 phases there.
Oh, is it on all 3? I just see it on the waveforms here on 2, which could be like a phase flap or something, but if you hold on 1 second, I can tell you how far from the sub it is. Hold on.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm just looking at the map right now. the main line goes underground, comes up the next street over it, and then it splits off into two directions where it's unfused. I don't want to show you guys the map zoomed in where it's at here because there's just too much confidential information showing on the screen. We know a fault like that is definitely not on one of the single phase sidelines for sure.
13 or 10, somewhere along that line is what we're showing.
Okay, 10 for I'll start off there on the 13 R2 to 13 R10 side. Have a look.
Sounds good. Talk to you about 21 clear.
22 clear. All right, so we get an idea. It's not always accurate, but definitely a good place to start. All right, we're on the section of line here now where it was predicting the fault. The dispatcher mentioned possible phases slapping, which definitely a possibility. The tough part about that, if it's phase slapping, there's oftentimes zero evidence that occurred. So that point you pretty much have to patrol the entire line and basically prove that there's nothing on the line before you attempt to close it back in. If there is phases slapping, we're looking for some slack spans. We're also looking for trees, of course, animals. Maybe a phase came untied from a pole. Quite a few slack span in this area. So we look at these wires here. The wind is acting just in the right way that they're not swinging in unison. They're kind of two outsiders swinging in towards the center. Everything's tied in good, and I've never had the phases slap in this area before. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna do a quick patrol of the whole line, and if we don't see anything, we're just gonna close her in. Cross our fingers, I guess. This span right here, as well as the next one, you can see the slack in it, swaying in the wind a bit. Definitely a good spot for the phases to slap. I don't see any black marks on them at all. If that's the case, we might just close her in and we'll get a hotline truck in here to cut some slack out of those lines while it's energized. Alright, so patrolling the other section of line here now. Luck is driving right down the street. I can see the three phase pretty clearly over the roofs of all the houses. I did just run into the fire chief, who they've received some emergency calls, but no exact location. He said the one customer reported the explosion was in the complete opposite direction. So we're gonna head up that way now. As we go, we're gonna patrol the line over top of the roofs of these houses. Here's a little bit of a shot at what we're looking at here. The sub is at the top of the screen coming down this blue line, and when we head off in this direction, I can't bring my camera over. There's some stuff I can't show, but there's normal open, meaning the line's fed from another direction at that point. And this line here is off 65 amp fuses. 5,000 amp fault. If it was on this side, those fuses should be popped. So there's a few spots on this line. I'm gonna have to jump out of the truck and get a better view. But other than that, so far everything looks clear. I'm just gonna jump out of the truck here and have a better look. There's a willow tree that branches like to sag down quite a bit. This guy right here. Oh, and look at that. First one I checked. That's our guy right there. Yes, sir. Awesome. Too cool. See that tiny little branch right there on the center phase making contact with the road phase, and it's hard to tell on the camera, but it's all burned up real bad. So that's gonna be an easy fix, real easy fix. Nice. This is awesome. That would have been an easy one to miss, but those willow trees, you gotta stop and check them. Those branches like come flying off in the wind. So we'll grab our hot stick, get this guy, knock him right off. We'll have power back on in no time. All right, so here's the deal, guys. I'm going to be working on the lines with a tested insulated hot stick. I'm going to put the saw blade on. It seems to work a lot better for tripping branch, and then that way if I do got to make a cut, no problem. So we're taking the hammerhead attachment off, putting on our saw blade attachment. Where I don't have I don't have any protection on the line right now, so I do have to treat those lines as if they are energized. If they were energized, there'd be some arcing going on where that branch is, for sure. But as long as I'm using my rubber gloves and a tested hot stick, I can work on that high voltage line without opening a backup device. So let's take a walk in and take care of that branch. It'll only take me about 30 seconds. Alright, this is awesome that we were able to find this so quickly, especially when you have good hard evidence like this. This one was across the center phase and the road phase, and there was a second one across the field phase and center phase. We've got that all clear now. Let's report what we found to our dispatcher. Go get that power back in. Close back in. Alright, that is so awesome. With all that back lot, it would have taken a while to walk that whole line if we didn't find anything. So, as I said, we're going to report our findings to our dispatch. Just checking our map to get the exact pole location here.
21, go for
Darren here. I patrolled that line there of 6518R003. Found two branches on the three phase at 8009, pole 4L19 to 4L20. Removed both branches with sticks and gloves and ready to close her back in.
Okay, sounds good. Here you say you patrolled the line. Branches at 8009, 4L19 to 4L20. I was just looking where you're parked there, and there are some. It said some, some reports of some sparks and stuff there. So, yeah. Do you want the instructor to close back in now? Or you want to wait till you get this up?
I'm only about 60 seconds away. I'll get the instruct now if you're ready.
Go ahead. Yep, you can go ahead and close 6518R003 and report.
10 for you, so I can go ahead and close 6518R003 and report.
Report.
Perfect, shouldn't be long.
21 clear.
To the sub. Alright, so we are back at the substation now. We're going to remotely close that recloser in from inside the building. And I'll show you guys what I personally like to do when picking up a line like this, especially 800 customers. So we're going to light up our screen. Just hit enter. We do have to verify, once again, we have permission to close in our recloser 6518 R003. So we are at the right location. Reclosing is on, simply meaning that the reclosing function, if there is a fault, will reclose the line automatically. When it's locked out, it will not. So I'm going to click on our metering. You can see our phases A, B, C, and ground. On the recloser, coming into the recloser is 7,400 volts per phase. I don't want to show exactly how to close it in, but as soon as I close this in, we're going to see our amperage spike. I'm assuming there's probably, I don't know, maybe 150 amps on this line. As soon as I pick that up, we're going to see a cold load inrush. That could spike up as high as double, maybe 300. Let's close it in, cross our fingers. Hopefully she doesn't pop. Boom, she's closed. And hardly a spike at all. So that, I mean, that is our spike, I guess. It's only been out for a half hour. It's not like people's fridges and heaters and hot water tanks are all coming on. If this was out for 6 hours, that would have really spiked. But she's good. There was no bump. Sometimes when you close it in, if there's still a fault, you'll see the current spike up after a few seconds to a couple thousand amps, and then it'll drop back open. Also a really well balanced line. Pretty much 130 amps per phase. There's almost nothing on the neutral, on the ground there, the IG. I stands for the amperage. V for volts. She's good. She's good to go. Sometimes, if it is a real dry branch, it might hold for 10-15 minutes and then flash over again. This case here, where we found really good evidence that we did find the problem, it made sense. It wasn't in the same direction as what our dispatcher predicted. However, it predicts the distance from the sub. So if we were 13 span from the sub in the opposite direction, I was still about 13 span from the sub. It wasn't too far away. That and the branches that were all burnt, and the fact we closed her in, we're only seeing 100 amps, we got her beat. So that's 770 or 780 customers, power restored in 25 minutes flat from the time the power went out. It's a good day. Today is a good day. So our one last step you absolutely do not want to forget, report back to our dispatch. We've got our building locked up. We're going to lock up our compound.
Tony, you want to go?
Hey, Aaron here. I got that 6518R003 closed back in and holding.
6518R003 is closed and holding.
Stand for.
Aaron.
Thanks, man. 22 click.
I'm clear.
That's it. That was a good day. 25 minutes flat from the time the power went out till all 770 customers. Power has been restored. Usually doesn't go that smooth, but you just never know. Thanks for stopping in. As always, guys, we'll see y'all soon.